CKJ, this episode's dedicated to you. Welcome home, buddy. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody in the crypto space. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Today is November 9th, 2019, on a beautiful Saturday evening. Man, I've been ripping and running everywhere today. But I was listening to a couple of podcasters. Well, not podcasters. I call it podcasting because I have YouTube Prime. And so I can listen to all the YouTubers out there without my screen being on. And it's called YouTube Prime. So it's like I don't get those commercials that everybody else gets. I just get to listen to everybody or watch everybody commercial free. And I get some other perks from being a YouTube Prime member, which I do not know. That's the main purpose. It's like when I'm driving, I like to listen to what's going on in real estate or, my crypto news. Like in the morning, I'm listening to Brad Kimes, the Working Money Channel, the Modern Investor, CKJ. Late morning, if I have time, it's Alex Cobb. Sprinkled throughout the day. If I'm going to check a property or I'm doing something else, I'm running the streets again. The Digital Asset Investor. Hey, we're all the crypto family. So before I get into the main stuff that I'm going to be getting into, this episode is just going to be basically CKJ, what about how I feel about him and his channel, and this foolishness is going about. But first, let's get into the market. All right. So right now we have BTC dominance at 66%. BTC down 0.11 is at $8,080. Well, $8,802, excuse me. Ethereum is $184, down by 0.66 cents. And XRP is at 28 cents, up 0.94. All right. So we looks like on the live coin watch we have mostly well, we did have mostly green, but now it's a mixture of red and green in the markets. But hey, that's crypto. Man, the thing I love about cryptocurrency, crypto can change at any minute. 1 minute you could be down, next minute you can be up. So hold on for the long term. All right, let's go to CKJ. All right. Now, hello, CKJ. But for other people, CKJ got trolled, and this is how I feel. And bear with me, is going to be a little criticism or whatever. Hey, and I want people to know I'm not perfect. I was raised up in the church, and I believe you should have forgiveness, because when you stand before God, if you can't forgive other people, the Lord's not going to forgive you. And I was watching a video with XRP Venture, and he said the same thing. I believe it was XRP Venture or somebody else. I'm always driving, so I'm watching a lot of people. But I believe he said that, and that's true, Because if you have hate in your heart with somebody else, you're not going to make it into heaven. And, you know, I don't care what other people say, the Bible is the word of God. And, we're going to scarcely make it in. So you can agree, disagree, like Brad Kime says, it's still true. We're going to scarcely make it in. It's either heaven or hell. But you got to have forgiveness for other people. Now, in my opinion, the best thing that happened to CKJ was him being trolled, and he went to swell. Now you could see that he posted this, and look at my boy. He's at swell. Singapore passport with his money. You know, no matter what people say, he could say, "Hey, I was at swell." Now maybe he didn't walk through the door or whatever, but I give him props. He said he wanted to go to swell, and he went to swell. Now because it was crazy circumstances, hey, he still went there. How many of us jumped up and went on faith? And he saw David Schwartz. I was like, man, I think he met him before, but you gotta do what normal people won't do so you can succeed. And that's what he done. Now, as far as all this hoopla about the charity thing, I'm going to be honest. When I first got into cryptocurrencies, CKJ was one of the YouTubers I would watch. And when this mess came out, I was like, see you. I unsubscribed. I was like, well, hey, if he did some dirt, he's going to jail. Sam I Am was, did a breakdown video of this, that, and that, and this, and stuff like that. You know, um, I'm like, well, hey, I put it in the Lord's hands. Now, in my opinion, if he did some dirty stuff, he wouldn't have been in Singapore. He would have been in jail. I think, whatever happened is taken care of, and he learned from, his mistakes. But when you're dealing with money, one thing my father told me is like, hey, when you're dealing with money or you're married or have a girlfriend and infidelity, them are the two worst things you can do. And I'm in real estate, and people are very funny with their money. They'll cut you. So I hope he learned a valuable lesson, because yes, I really believe that CKJ in his heart was trying to help people, but you have to stay on top of things. Now he gave the excuse, that his handicap, he can't spell that good. Reading is funny. I was born in South Central on a couch on 79th and Vermont in the hood, uh, and that was like 50 years ago. My mother was like, YW, he's coming. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And by the time he came downstairs, I was already out. They cut the umbilical cord. My father was like, he's okay. He's cleaned up. I'm going back to bed. We'll take him in the hospital a little bit later. I grew up in South Central educational system, LA Unified. My mother and my father is black, my mother is white. I had racism on my mother's side, or from my grandmother. I had racism going to school because they was like saying I was, a hunky wannabe, yellow, different things. I would get beat up, you know. My mother had a couple miscarriages. She had a, a daughter, a stepsister, in a previous marriage, but my grandmother took that daughter because it was a baby, and then her husband died, and then my mother married my father. It's a long story. My father was like 20 years older than my mother. My mother was like early 20s, But long story short, my grandmother was like, "No, my granddaughter's not living with no brother." My mother had a couple of miscarriages. Then she had me. Then had my sister. But I saw my sister get killed walking across the street on 98th and Normandy, going to the store, and I saw her get hit by a car, and I was like at the light. Like after school, my mother would send us to the store for those big bowl ice creams or something, and usually we go together. But she sent my sister first, and she sent me. So I was like a few minutes behind. That's how I saw it, and it just messed me up. I was in special classes. To this day, you know, I have a I have a handicap when it comes to reading and spelling. I cannot spell words the life of me. I have a few books. I just published a box set of books, but I spent a lot of money on the editor. And I have this program right here. Uh, when I'm making emails, how are you doing today? CKJ is the man. And I just copy that and paste it. Sometimes I'm not looking what I'm doing, and it doesn't spell as it should. But basically, what I'm saying is like CKJ. You're not alone. And I was in a special class for a few years, but I graduated high school. Praise God. And no matter what you're going through, what kind of handicap you have, don't let that get you down. Because for a long time it got me down, but I've learned to overcome it. Now CKJ, it was like, oh, I forgot different things, okay. But hopefully, you know, he put things in his calendar. And what I would suggest, anytime like a couple of weeks ago, he had somebody on his channel say they had a baby. It was like sending them money and stuff like that. I would have a policy and let people know. I was like, hey, I'm not dealing with any money. I had an issue with it before. I'm trying to stay away from any kind of controversy, because you can have the best intentions. Your heart can be good, and people still going to hate. People are going to still twist it, And the best way to stay away from that is like, somebody's having a baby. All right, send me your wallet address or whatever. I'll put it in the description. They can send it directly to you, or better yet, you know, message that person directly. Set up a link. It's like, hey, just go to this person directly. Have nothing to do with it, so that way they can't say your hands touch it or whatever, because people's going to throw shade. And I know from watching your video earlier, you know, it was really getting under your skin, and I can understand that. But I'm a real estate agent. I cold call for a living. I knock doors. I get people cussing me out all the time. And all I'm doing is trying to find business and trying to help them get where they want. And it's been times where I'm cold calling and people are saying, well, how do you know I wanted to sell my house? I was just asking the Lord to have somebody call me. And it's been times where I calling and I get people at least 3 or 4 times since the last. I've been in real estate 7 years, and It's been at least 4 times I'm called somebody, and that either morning, afternoon, or evening, I'm calling somebody that's boo-hooing on the phone because they just lost someone. And maybe not the first time, but every time after that, I sent them a card and sent them a little something, because that's the worst time in their life. And a lot of times when you have to sell your property, sometimes it's not the best time in your life. Sometimes you have to do it for, reasons that you don't want to have to do. So when it comes to these people just acting silly, let it go in one ear and out the other. Pay them no attention. And I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. I have a new channel. It, maybe I can't wait for the trollers, because I like clowning people. If somebody was trolling me, I'd probably give more attention. That's probably something I shouldn't do. But I think the best thing that happened to CKJ was for him to go to Singapore, and now he's like, hey, I went to Singapore, I went to Swell, maybe I didn't get in, but I was there. And you got to understand, when all these people are throwing all this shade and all this FUD and all this stuff, the XRP, you know, um, Dream Team, Brad Garlinghouse, David, different people, they're watching. They're looking. They have their eyes on you, and the way you're acting now will determine how they're going to treat you in the future. Because I believe if CKJ, you know, s- s- make sure he stays clean and respects, and it's like I saw the video when he was there. He was kind of disappointed he didn't get in. That's understandable and stuff, but next, well, hey, they might have you as a guest speaker. You never know, but you just got, your reputation. All you are is your reputation. My father always told me, it's a scripture in the Bible. He would say, swear to your own hurt. That means if you said something, you stick to it, even if it hurts you. And a lot of times, it's hard to do. But if somebody knows that you mean what you say what you mean, and you stick by it, then they're gonna trust you. And if you make sure that you're not dealing with all this foolishness, and you keep your reputation clean and untarnished, you know, hey, you're good as gold. And I know it's different people out there is like, well, hey, you could be a saint, Jesus Christ. They made stuff up about Jesus, but people can see through that. Like Crypto Airy, she was like, well, hey, I wasn't able to make it, but if you need my room, boom, there you go. You were saying XRP Venture was on your corner. It was like, hey, I don't believe, I don't think that was right, what they did and all this other stuff. Hey, you know, I look, I'm a business owner. I had a school bus company for um over like 10 years. I have a real estate company. I have some investment properties. You know, when it comes to business, sometimes you have to say no to different people. It's like, hey man, I like you and stuff, but your reputation is not personal, it's business. And if you work on your brand, your 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 reputation, hey, the world's your oyster. But look, you have followers and people that's got your back, and they see that. You know, just don't go down to their level, start talking to different people. I know back in the day, you was, you know, putting different shots out at different people. But hey, we're all family. it's like we have the same goal, investing. You know, I believe in XRP. I believe it's going to be over $10,000 a coin. It was designed for that. I believe that. And uh, let me um let me set this example up right now. XRP Venture is he said something about um he wasn't too happy with Ripple, and that, well, let's listen. Let's listen to him so that way I won't misquote him.
Let's see, Ripple is a bank as well. They may be, and quite honestly, today I'm not Ripple's biggest fan. So I'm just an investor and their token and uh, and quite honestly, I shared this before that when when it takes off and I feel that my investment has matured, I'll take it out and I'll look to others. I'll look to other digital assets, but I'll also look to real world opportunities. So, uh,
So you heard it from XRP Venture how he felt. I disagree. Now, see, that's the thing about being in the investment family, the XRP family. Hey, you know, if you want to subscribe to his channel, hey, I'll put a link below. Subscribe. He got some good insight. A lot of things I don't agree with because I'm in real estate out here in California, and California is the land of the lawsuit. But I believe, you know, this, this investment we have in Ripple, yes, in a certain part, diversify and all this other stuff. But if Ripple's gonna be $10,000 a coin, and I'm in real estate, right? Why sell off at a couple dollars, $50, $100? This ain't financial advice. I'm just giving you, how I feel. Or $1,000. When it's gonna shoot up $10,000, he was like, oh well, I'm gonna like sell off and go into other investments. In my mind, that doesn't make any sense. I believe he said it later on. He was like, well, eventually he'll probably get there. I'm holding for the long haul. 3, 5, 10 years. I'm accumulating, and when it goes, it goes. Yeah, I'll take some profits on the way up, and I'm going to be doing a video about that. But that's one thing about the community. We all have different, different. We all think differently, and we have different ways on how we're going to invest and how we're going to do our exit strategy. Hey, that's fine. I'm not downing him, but I have my own theory, and I have my own plan of action. Now he talks of, he made a comment before like, oh well, I want to pay off my house and stuff like that. Well, as a real estate agent, I disagree with that. I really feel that if you do pay off your house, you should have a corporation and talk to your tax attorney and lawyer and all this other stuff. Don't listen to me. But if you have your own incorporation and you put a loan on your own property and have it encumbered and make sure that your corporation doesn't have your name on it, but it's owned by you and you have layers. This is what the rich people do. You know, just check Robert Kiyosaki's Think and Grow Rich. Um, it's a lot of books out there. Educate yourself, because the worst thing, in my opinion, to do is pay your house off. You lose the tax benefits. Also, if somebody stubs their toe on your property and they sue you, poof, you have to sell your property to pay them off. Or if if um you have your house free and clear, say if the city was like the checking the tax rolls, it's like, oh, Mr. Peterson owns his house tax free. Oh, eminent domain. We want your property, and we're just going to give you fair market value, and fair market value in our eyes is whatever we give you. A lot of people don't excuse me, a lot of people don't understand when you have a loan on a property, it's less likely to get hit with eminent domain than a property that is free and clear. Free and clear property, they they're like, oh yes, we hit the lottery. You know, if they want your property, they want your property. They take it regardless. But you have a high likelihood of them not taking it when you have a loan on it. And then if you have a loan on it and it's incorporated and shielded where it's harder to find out the owner, because the first thing in today's society is when somebody's trying to sue somebody, they're going to tell the person's like, hey, we'll sue for you. You don't have to pay a dime until we get you that money and put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. Well, what's the first thing they're going to do? It's like, what happened? They do their investigations. They look. It's like, oh, okay, you stub your toe on Jones's property. Oh, okay, Mr. Jones. Okay, well, we don't see his name on the title. We don't know who owns that title. You know, it. He doesn't own anything. Well, we're not going to take the case. You could just sue the insurance company, the homeowner's insurance, to get your little couple dollars. You know, that's how the game is played. But it's one thing I like about XRP Venture, what he said. Let me go to this one right here. And
Cool.
this is about the
Something to
recession.
be a little careful of. XRP will move with combo economy, politics, so pay attention to Trump's business moves. I'd agree with that. Lots of people are talking about, financial crash, and that's when it'll move. Sorry for the moving of the machine there, guys. Man, I hope it doesn't take a crash. I don't want people to crash. A crash hurts lots and lots of families, and very few of those families would be vested in XRP where something could offset, the crash. So I don't hope for a crash at all. I hope for, genuine, honest brokers, politicians that will recognize the mathematically impossibility of paying off the government and world debts, and that they come up with a solution of either a global currency reset where they involve XRP, back it by gold, or come up with another digital asset that's backed by gold, and XRP is as good as backed by gold because all of the major currencies around the world have now digital assets that are backed by gold, and XRP is the one that they trade between themselves.
So I don't want nobody to fall under bad times either. Yes, we're in a economy that appears to be doing good, but with this repo mess, uh, you know, putting all this money into the repo foolishness, it's a matter of time before the dominoes start falling. And I made a video about homelessness, and we can wish the politicians do the right thing all we want, but we as an XRP society, we have it in our means. We hold once it blows up to $5,000, $10,000. How can you spend that much money? And Because me, I'm going to be setting up different programs, nonprofit, different things, and try to get as many people off the street as I can, especially veterans. Oh man, we really need to get them off the streets. My father was a veteran. He was a Marine, one of the first Black Marines, and you know, I knew some of his friends, and they need people to help them sometimes. They gave their life, they gave their limbs. You know, we should have their back as a country. There should not be any veterans, much less anybody, on the street, no matter if they're hurting, messed up in the head, or whatever, because they sacrificed more than we can even imagine for us to have this opportunity to be kicking back, complaining about why Ripple ain't over 30 cents. You see what I'm saying? But in my opinion, we should not be just focused on price. We should just be focused on accumulating. Like Brad, I was watching Brad Kimes this morning. He said we had two jobs: accumulate and hold, and that's what we should do. And once XRP blows up, make sure you pay your tithes and offering, your taxes and everything, and take care of other people. And I believe, hey, you do that, you'll be okay. I love. Let me go over here. Um, I love Christmas, and I love Hodl style what he posted. Um, listen to this with David Schwartz.
David, what do you want for Christmas?
I'd say XRP at $1, but that'll get me in trouble. So
Yeah.
I won't say that. I'll say it. I'll say what I'm supposed to say, and what I really would like to see is less toxicity in this community. I'd just like to see people who, I don't care what your favorite project is, nobody builds anything up by tearing something down. It just doesn't work that way.
David, what do you want for
So XRP Venture, he said in his video, I don't know exactly where it's at. You could check it out, but he believes that XRP, or he mentioned, is a chance that XRP is manipulating the price. You heard it right there. He would want it to be at least $1, but and he has so much, the dollar was like, yeah, okay. But I don't believe that XRP is manipulating the market. Now, I know that the market is manipulated, and I'm not mad about it. I was like, hey, that's the name of the game. Once the big players come in, and that's what they're going to do. But it's not going to be that way forever. And it's like every day it's like 30 cents or 25 cents or under $1. It's a penny stock. And try to get as much of it as possible, because once these days are long gone, you could be like, man, remember those days when it was under $1? Wow, if I only had one more day. It's like when you were young. Yesterday when I was young, I can't sing, but when you was younger, you was always waiting to, hey, I can't wait to get older, can't wait to get facial hair, can't wait to, graduate high school. I can't wait for XRP to get over $1, $5, $10. Man, can't, man, I wish I can go back to the days when it was under $1. Those days be long gone. So, yeah, I've been on this for a while and had like a little rant, but um, everybody just needs to be cool. Don't be bothered with all these people that's having this foolishness. You know, we're all family. We're all invested in the same thing. We wanna have a fortune for us and our families, and that's it, right? To take care of our families because nobody else is going to do it, right? The government's not going to do it. So if we have the means that we never had before to be wealthy beyond our imagination, we only get one shot at this. So just be careful with that shot because I really want to see how Brad's documentary is going to be coming out. When it comes out, probably going to be a year or so before it comes out, and then after that, take a look back and like, hey, where is XRP Agent? Where is Alex Cobb now? Where is Aiden Trading? Where's CKJ? Where's the Working Money Channel? The Modern Investor? Sam I Am? Crypto Erie? Mr. B XRP? And on and on and on. Where are they now? Because it's going to be a few, I'm sorry to say, it's going to be a few, maybe, hopefully, not the mainstream crypto community, but it's going to be some people that get their wealth and some crazy stuff is going to happen. Just like the lottery winners blow it all, mess it up, or tragically something happens. It always happens with lottery. And we're going to be in a crypto boom. It'd be interesting to see how are we as a community going to look in 3 to 5 years once the price goes sky high. And I have no doubt that it's going to be over 10,000. And I'm going to be taking care of my immediate family, my ancestors, and I'm going to try to help the community. I'm going to try to get as many people off the street as I can because they're my brothers, and sisters in Christ. It doesn't matter what kind of religion or race or whatever. We're all created by the same being. You want to call him Jehovah, you want to call him God, Jesus, whatever you want to do. We're all humans, we're all brothers and sisters, and we all should help each other. All this foolishness, bickering, life is too short because once you're starting to look death in the eyes, all this foolishness is not going to matter. And I learned a long time ago, keep life simple. And that's what I'm doing. So this is the XRP Agent. I know I went on a little long, CKJ, but this is how I feel. I know you have a good heart. Just focus on your brand, on your business. Keep on helping people. You got a good heart. And Godspeed, good sir. And to everybody else out there, take care. Until next time. Later.